Welcome back to Guitar Theory Modules. This is Module 35 and we're on pages 95 through 98. In this module, I'm going to show you how to play a standard 12-bar blues progression and a quick change blues progression in any key, anywhere on the fretboard. For this lesson, you need to know how to play some movable major or dominant 7th chord shapes with root notes on the 5th string and on the 6th string. This is a major shape that you can use with the root that's on the 6th string. That's a B flat major that I'm playing because I'm placing the root of that shape on the low B flat, string 6, fret 6. Here's a major shape you can play with the root on the 5th string. That's an E flat major that I'm playing because I'm placing the root of that chord shape on the E flat, string 5, fret 6. You could also play this major shape with the root note on the 5th string. That's also an E flat major chord that I'm playing because I'm placing the root of that shape on the E flat, string 5, fret 6. We've got some dominant 7 chord shapes we can play as well for blues progressions. This is one that you can play with the root note on the 6th string. This would be a B flat 7 because I'm placing the root of the shape on the low B flat, string 6, fret 6. And by the way, this is the shape that I'll be using when I go through all the demos. You could also play this dominant 7 shape with the root note on the 6th string. This is also a B flat 7. I'm placing the root note on that B flat. If I were to move it down a fret, it's an A7. Here's a shape you can play with the root note on the 5th string. This is a dominant 7 shape. And this is the shape that I'll be using for our 5th string roots in this lesson. This will be an E flat 7 that I'm playing because I'm placing my root note of the shape on the E flat, string 5, fret 6. You could also play this other shape, dominant 7 shape, with the root note on the 5th string. That's also an E flat 7 because I'm placing the root note of this shape on the E flat, string 5, fret 6. Both the standard and the quick change blues progressions will include the 1, 4, and 5 chords. These diagrams show you how to find the 4 and 5 in relation to your 1 chord. So if the root of your 1 chord is on the 6th string, then the 4 chord root will be on the 5th string on the same fret. So 1, 4, and your 5 chord is going to be 2 frets to the right on the same string as your 4 chord. 1, 4, 5, and 1. You want to put chords to those positions. So our 1 chord will be this dominant 7th chord with the root note on the 6th string, placing it, in this case, at the 6th fret, making it a B flat 7. The 4 chord, which is also going to be a dominant 7th chord that I'm going to play, you place that root on the position of the 4 on the 5th string, 6th fret, and your 5 chord will be the same shape, just 2 frets higher. 1, 4, 5, and 1. If the root of your tonic or 1 chord is on the 5th string, then the root of your 4 chord will be on the 6th string, 2 frets to the left, and the root of your 5 chord will be 2 frets higher than that on the same string. So 1, 4, 5, and 1. Putting chords to that, and these I'm going to play all dominant 7th chords. 1, placing my root note, at the 1. 4, using a 6th string dominant 7 shape, placing my root note on the 4, and then for my 5 chord, I just have to slide 2 frets higher on the same string. So 1, 4, 5, 1. A typical blues progression is 12 measures, and right here is a typical blues progression in C. Notice I've written all dominant 7th chords. You could play these as major chords as well, but dominant 7th chords are more common. Here's what it sounds like, and then we're going to talk about navigating these chords in just a minute. The 1 chord for 4 measures. The 4 for 2 measures. Back to the 1 chord for 2 measures. 5 to 4 to 1. Your first assignment for this module is to memorize those numbers for the blues progression. So measures 1 through 4, it's all going to be 1 chord. Measures 5 through 8, we're going to have 2 bars of 4, and then 2 bars of 1 again. Measures 9 through 12, we're going to have 1 measure of 5, a measure of 4, and we end with 2 measures of the 1 chord. Your second assignment for this module is page 97, Blues Exercise 2, and this is a playing exercise. What I'd like you to do is pick from these blues keys, pick 2 or 3 keys a day, and play standard 12-bar blues, starting with the root on the 5th string or on the 6th string. So let's say we're doing a blues in B flat, and we want to play that so the root of our 1 chord is on the 6th string. First thing you want to do is find your 4 and 5 in relation to the 1 chord. So, of course, there would be your 1 chord, the low B flat, string 6, fret 6. Then you find your 4, then you find your 5. Then you want to figure out what chords you're playing with those. So I'm using all dominant 7 shapes in this lesson, but you could choose from major chords as well. Your B flat 7, using this shape with the root note on the 6th string. And since the 4 and the 5 chords are both on the 5th string, we're going to use a dominant 7 shape with the root on the 5th string. I'm going to choose this one. That would be my 4, placing my root in the appropriate spot, and then 5, moving 2 frets higher than my 4. And then I play my blues progression. So we have 1 chord for 4 measures, 2, 3, 4, 4 chord for 2 measures, back to our 1 chord for 2 measures, 5, 4, 1. Let's choose another key, this time the key of E flat, and we'll place our root note of the 1 chord on the 5th string. So that'll be at string 5, fret 6. Again, the first thing we want to do is find our 4 and 5 in relation to the 1. So there's your 1, your 4, and your 5. You put chords to that. I'm using dominant 7 shapes. So 1, placing the root note of this shape on that E flat. Your 4 and 5 are both going to be 6th string shapes. I'm going to use this 6th string dominant 7 shape. There's my 4, move it 2 frets higher, and there's my 5. So 1, 4, 5, and 1. And then play a blues progression. 4 bars of 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 bars of the 4 chord, 2 bars of the 1. Now 5, 4, and 1. The quick change blues is identical to the standard 12-bar blues, except that in measure 2 you go to the 4 chord and then you go right back to the 1 chord. So here's a standard quick change progression, and we're going to talk about navigating it in just a minute. So 1 to 4 to 1, and the rest is just like the standard blues. 4 to 1, 5, 4, and 1. Your next assignment from this module is page 98, this blues exercise number 3. Simply memorize those numbers for the quick blues changes. And if you already know your 12-bar blues, this should be pretty easy because it's identical. You just go to the 4 chord in measure 2. So measures 1 through 4, we have one measure of 1, one measure of 4, and then 2 measures of 1 again. Measures 5 through 8, we go to the 4 chord for 2 measures, and then back to the 1 chord for 2 measures. Measures 9 through 12, we go 5 chord for 1 measure, 4 chord for 1 measure, and then we end on the 1 chord for the last 2 measures. Your final assignment for this module is at the bottom of page 98. It's this blues exercise number 4. What I'd like you to do is pick a few of these blues keys a day, maybe 2 or 3 keys, and play quick change blues progressions with root notes located at the 6th string and also on the 5th string. So let's say we're in the key of A. We want to do an A blues, and we want to put the root of our 1 chord on the 6th string. So we would find the low A on the 6th string at the 5th fret, and then find your 4 and 5 relative to that. So there's your 1, your 4, your 5. Put some chords to that. Since our 1 has the root note on the 6th string, I'll use this 6th string dominant 7 shape. Our 4 and our 5 chords are both on the 5th string, so we can use the same shape for that. I'm going to use this dominant 7th shape, placing the root note on the 4. And then for the 5, we just play 2 frets higher. So there's our 1, 4, and our 5. And then play a quick change blues. So 1 to 4 to 1. To 4 to 1. To 5 to 4 to 1. Let's choose another key, this time F, and we're going to place the root of our 1 chord on the 5th string. That'll be at the 8th fret, because that's where the F is located. You want to find your 4 and 5 relative to that 1. So there's your 1, your 4, and your 5. Put chords to that, so our 1 chord with the root note on the 5th string. Your 4 and 5 chords are both going to be 6th string shapes. So there's your 4, there's your 5, and then play a quick change progression. 1, 4, and 1. 4 and 1. Go to the 5, down to the 4, and 1. Don't forget to check out my book, Guitar Theory Modules. Of course, you can watch all these videos for free, but if you have a copy of Guitar Theory Modules, you have all this information in one place. It's going to be a lot easier to follow along, so I'll leave a link for that in the description. Take your time with this, and when you're ready, I'll see you in Module 36, where I'm going to show you some easy, effective blues passing chords and turnarounds.